Good morning. I'd like to show you this morning how to fix that problem with the space in file names. The easiest way to do this is to not have the space, but of course we don't want to go deleting accounts and creating new accounts. So instead, we're going to approach it in the following way. Here I am on my desktop. Surely everyone knows how to create folders, so if I'm insulting your intelligence, I apologize. Right-click, New Folder. You can name this folder anything you like. I'm going to call it Fred. If I double left-click on Fred, I find out that there's nothing in there, but I could make a directory or a folder within Fred and call it APSU or something. If I wanted to, I could go into that folder and make subfolders as much as I want to. The ones that I've just created mean nothing to me, so I'm going to immediately get rid of them again. On my desktop, I have created a folder called Numerical. And my thought is I'll put all of my programming assignment work in the numerical folder. Numerical has no spaces in it. None of the directories that we are going to create will have spaces in them. If I go into numerical, I have created one subfolder of it called assignment 1. I used an underscore to split the 1 away from the word assignment, not a space. If I put a space in there, we will be back in the same problem we're trying to solve. Inside of assignment 1, I played problem 1. Later I could have problem 2 and problems 3 and so forth for assignment 1. The programming part for problem 1 of my problem is going to have some sort of source code, and it's also going to need input and output. So let me go look at input output. Notice that's an underscore, not a space. Or you could just run the two words together, input output. Within that folder, I have a data file. I created this data file with Notepad, so it's nothing elaborate. I've set n equal to 3, and I have 4 pairs of numbers that I wish to read from this file. Oh, and by the way, be careful about the naming. So here's my assignment. Let me see if I can be lazy. I can. I have only one directory that starts with the letter capital A. I have problem 1. I have code. I have input output. The name of my file is data.txt. When I saved it from Notepad, I accidentally typed the name of it in the little folder name as data.txt, resulting in Notepad calling it data.txt.txt, which caused me a great deal of confusion. If you want to be paranoid, just check and make sure that it's named what you think it is. I'm not interested in doing anything at the moment except showing how we're going to do this input stuff. So my code is very short. It doesn't do much. And since I'm running Silverfrost here, I'll do it from the IDE. My program is called test, implicit none. I'm going to have a pair of integers, n and I. N, if this were an interpolation problem, would be the degree of the polynomial we're looking for. I is just going to be a loop counter. I'm going to have a couple of real variables x and y, and here's what we do. We open unit equals 33, file equals, quote mark, 2 periods, backslash, input output, backslash data.txt, quote mark, comma, status equals old, close parentheses. Then from file 33, I read in and immediately print it out so that I can see it. And then for all indexes from 0 to n, I'm going to read one of those pairs of numbers, print it out to the screen, close the file, and that's the end of my program. This is how we will access the input-output files. The period backslash means move up in the file folder hierarchy one level. From there, look inside the directory input-output for the file data.txt. So let me run that. And there is the file. This has actually been rather interesting. It's always difficult when things like this happen, but we take the opportunity to learn from them. If I wanted to write a file, I would open it. The file name would be quote mark period backslash input output backslash, and then whatever name I wanted to give my output file. Status for that would be replace rather than old, and I would print to the file or write to the file instead of reading from it. Hopefully this is enough to utterly defeat these problems of space that we've had. When you save this file for the first time, make sure you do it this way though. We're going to save as. The file name, I can make it anything I feel like making it. I'm just going to leave it as the example. Where do I want to save this to? Desktop, numerical, assignment 1, problem 1, code. And of course, I've already got it there since I've run this already. After you do that the first time, then if you'll look, creating executable file, see users Cache America desktop numerical assignment 1 problem 1 code. That's where your executable is. If you move up one level in the file hierarchy, you will see from that point of view the directory code and the directory input-output. And by doing that, it will be able to locate in kind of a relative way where the input-output files go. I hope that this helps out. No spaces in these directory names, though. That's all we have to remember. I hope everyone's having a good and productive day. I'll talk to you again soon.